Hi, I'm Kawan Spears, sports writer at the Sacramento Bee. Pictured is Leroy Harris, who became the region's first African-American head coach at Highlands High School in 1980. During that year, he led the Scots to the Sac Joaquin Section Division I championship game.
I was just concerned about my situation and trying to do the best job I could do at being the first black head coach. I just wanted to make an impact, a social impact, because of my, being a pioneer and being a front runner. So I felt a certain obligation and dedication to making a good impression.
A study conducted by the Bee found that only 6 high school football teams out of 75 in the area are led by black coaches, despite the high level of participation among black student athletes.
Well, it's a variety of reasons. Political, social impact. I can't really pinpoint it. I can't really say what it is. A lot has to do with school administrations, who they want to run their programs. A lot have to do with fewer and fewer Afro-Americans being in the education field with full-time teaching positions. It's hard to be a head coach and be off campus. That's kind of a no-win situation, and not very many people are going to do it. And it's almost imperative that you have the combination of the teaching job as a profession and the coaching as an extracurricular activity. Having a coach being the primary job is a no-win situation, because you need a combination to be successful. You need to be able to coordinate the educational aspects of education and the extracurricular activity. They go hand in hand.
Natomas coach Gary Melvin is entering his first season as head coach after being an assistant with the program for 6 years.
Unless it's an extreme situation, they're really going to go after an on-campus coach. So a teacher, most likely, or a counselor, or some other function on campus.
We started practice.
For me, it was the horse before the cart. I decided I want to be a football coach at a pretty young age, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to get that done without teaching. And then it became obvious that if I wanted to be a head football coach, ultimately I'd have to become a teacher, and so that's the route that I took.
According to a California Department of Education survey, 15.4% of students enrolled in Sacramento County are black. Conversely, black teachers represent 1.2%.
It has to be addressed, trying to attract more candidates into teaching in general. Coaching, there tend to be a lot of minorities that play sports, and so coaching would be a natural kind of avenue. But we need educators as well as coaches, so we need to approach those kids and let them know that that's a viable option for them. It's crucial, especially in California. We see so many diverse populations that in positions of authority, you have people that look like you. You don't have to have everyone look like you, but you tend to be discouraged or feel separated, like it's us versus them, if you see no one that's like you. If your entire faculty and administration doesn't reflect what the campus population looks like, those kids feel like they're disassociated and they're not really connected to that campus. Without those role models, our kids, just in the back of their mind, they don't even feel that that's something that they can rise to. There's probably plenty of young men and women out there that could do very well as a teacher or a coach, at a high school level, and work very well with the youth, but because they don't have those role models, it's not something they can picture themselves as. That's not what they're used to seeing, and so they can't superimpose their face on the body.
Stephen Christian, a senior at Kennedy High School and considered one of the top recruits in the area, appreciates being coached by an African American.
You're more comfortable with who people that look like you or stuff that you're used to or that you see more than others. The black coaches that I've had have been more of a role model for me. So I would like to have a black coach that would be a role model. If it's not a head coach, then one of my position coaches, because I'll be spending more time with them, and I think you would be it would just put me in a more comfortable position. If the coach knows what he's doing, then I would prefer the coach that knows the most about my position, if he's my position coach, or the head coach that knows more about the game. But in another instance, like black coaches, just because I'm an African American, like I would want somebody that would be more of a role model.
Despite the status quo, both men agree things can change for the better as more light is shed on the situation.
The answer to it, create a position on campus where you could pay them a full salary and they could be there and commit their time and energy to the job. Well, you know, I think the climate is better for schools bringing black coaches in, and the coaches that's in the field, assistant coaches, they just have to be patient and wait for their opportunity, because opportunities are going to come, but they just got to hold out and wait, and they're going to get passed over. They just have to wait, and they're going to come. There's some good quality assistant coaches that's in line to get jobs, and they'll get them if they have the patience.
African Americans are going to have to become their own advocate, and they're really going to have to go out and meet and greet athletic directors and other coaches, get their name out there, interview for jobs, and really push for it. I think that a lot of guys that might actually be interested in applying for positions don't apply for positions because they don't think that they'll get an opportunity or a fair shot. And if we're going to overcome it, we've got to start applying for those jobs. We've got to start meeting and greeting. We've got to start getting our names out there, and that's how you compete. It's just like on the football field. If you want to compete, you got to compete for these jobs as well.